What is up, everybody? Two Brain Cell GP here coming at you today, and we got the barrel again with a decent stack of wood on top, getting some heat in it. It's just kind of drying out because I may have cut this thing down this morning. If you can listen closely, you can hear it still growing. So, yeah. So we ended up putting a different wastegate on. It's a real one this time, and I ended up drilling a little hole here so it can still open with this bolt in here. It still can because it's a little wiggly, so it's got some play. But I just wanted a bigger hole anyway, just so it doesn't have that like resistance trying to open. So all it does is increase the spring tension on one of the springs. I have two springs in there, but the washer I used wasn't big enough afterwards because I had to put a bigger spring because it wouldn't even come on boost. It's literally set up at its lowest setting to even run, which is what I want because I want to see how long we can I want to see how long we can run this thing for before you shut down. The last pass I made with it this morning was about 8 minutes, and it didn't have as much wood as what's here. It's probably half the stack, so I guess we'll see what happens. Since it's already up to temperature, it should fire right up pretty easily. This morning it was a different story. It's like trying to cold start a big block with a carburetor with no gas in it. It ain't gonna work. I just didn't have big enough flame, and because this shit's brand new, or still living, it was a little harder to start, that's all. I just needed to have a little bit more preheat in the chamber before I sealed it up. But whatever. So it is what it is. So I guess I'm gonna load it now and then fire it up. Yeah, this stuff is you can see how wet it is. We're gonna throw it in our little oil bucket, even though I don't like running this thing on oil. There's some dirt on that bitch. I guess you could run it on oil if you wanted to. I just don't. Because if you can get this to charge a battery bank in the 10 minutes that it's running, you don't need to run it on oil. You know, this is literally one 6-inch tree out back. That's it. You know, if you can charge your shit for the week just by running this thing once, you know, if it lasts 15 minutes, if you pack it really good, that's really long. 15 minutes is a long time for this thing to be literally spooling and orange. That's really pushing the turbo, if you ask me. Whew. Smoky over here. But enough babbling. Let's load this thing up and get to it. was not enough flame. Simple as that. So this stuff's probably a little too wet to be running, to be honest with you, because when I ran a little bit softer shit, it seemed to run better. But we're just gonna throw more in there and get a little more preheat going, because that's what you do. I don't think it's got enough temperature to keep this going, believe it or not. Ow. It's all 3 brain cells sticking your hand in an 800-degree freaking tube. Hell yeah. It's the only way I do it. Hot damn, was that a good run. Once you get enough heat in it, it goes pretty good. Not bad for 2 brain cells. Well, actually 1, because the other one's magically or supposedly looking for the other one. Which, you know, I can agree, honestly. Feels that way, being a fucking drug addict. So, yeah. Mind your words, motherfuckers. But, anyway, that was a fucking pretty good run. No throttle adjustment, just let it go. That's on 4 pounds boost. So let's see. That ain't no 700 horse, I know that, but whatever. Who gives a flying fuck? Let's see, 4 pounds. That's like 150 horse. I don't know. That seems reasonable because that's usually what those things put out on like a LS or some shit. Like 150, 200 horse at 5 pounds, some shit like that. So who gives a fuck? Horsepower numbers don't mean nothing no more. But yeah, so that's the end of that. And I think that's it for the video. It's getting a little choppy here, so we're just gonna call it quits. And as always, leave a like, subscribe, get to see more of this thing. The next step is trying to generate electricity out of this thing, so it's not just a fucking noisemaker and a tree eater. But yeah, so that stayed pretty good. I'm not gonna put the wastegate into the housing. I think that works pretty fucking good the way it is, because I don't know how it's gonna work at low boost settings and shit like this. So it works. It doesn't blow apart. It seems to be consistent. This is like the 12th pass on this particular center section and turbo wheel, and the sunlight is not working for our favor, but it looks pretty good from my eye. And there ain't much wood in there. There's like 2 sticks left, and 3 sticks, a couple more. But I think what happens is as the wood gets lighter, it just pushes up the tank far away from the air, and it can't actually make a flame anymore. So I think having like a stopper there so the wood can't push, you know, like a plate with a bunch of 1-inch holes or something, so it'll just get jammed up against it and create this like just pack of fucking charcoal ash, whatever you want to call it, just heat. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Pretty good run. I like it. Next step, obviously, power generation, and then we'll try to make another one, a bigger unit. See if we can get a, you know, like a half hour, maybe an hour of runtime, just on wood. That's all I want. But that was a pretty good run with just firewood. And it did take most of that pile. This is what I have left. Enough to make another pass. A couple minutes. So, it's the end of that. Thanks for watching.